Okay, episode 2 of yesterday. So we left off with Veer noticing that he's trapped somewhere he doesn't know with Kelvin, and he can't go anywhere because he's literally handcuffed by the foot. Now, I'm going to be honest, I got a little confused with the times because in season 1 it was telling us a year ago and then it says present day. So I'm assuming, and this is a big assumption, that this 6 hours has something to do within the 1 year period that happened a year ago. So the drama is definitely going to go in between 1 year in during that year before he got trapped, because remember, they know each other for a long time. Just by watching the 2 episodes, we can see they know each other for a good amount of time. The one that we're seeing when he got trapped is either in between the present day before he got escaped, because eventually homeboy gotta escape somehow or another. Now this is where we see Veer walking in place where there's some banquet or something, while we hear in the background news about his family having some kind of problems with their business being leaked. But at the same time, when he walked in, everyone was looking at him like, why is he here and stuff like that. Bear in mind, homeboy is rich. It's just that everybody rich person that go through something behind closed doors. But the liquidation leaking thing, I don't really understand. I'm not a business person. I don't know shit about shit. Moving on. Now, while Vera is minding his own business, drinking a little bit of liquor, woman went to talk to him, and here comes this guy, start walking up to him, talking to him casually. Apparently, they know each other. Anyways, the guy and Veer went up top of the roof to talk. But here's where it gets confusing, because remember in episode 1 where we talked about Veer had a mark on his forehead, but in this one, in episode 2, this guy said, how'd you get the mark? Apparently, homeboy's been missing for a while, which got me confused with the time, because if that was the case, are they saying that homeboy escaped Kelvin's grasp? Because the timing is just so confusing. Anyways, that's besides the point. The point is they know each other too well. Like too well in bed know each other. Apparently they've been one night standing sex partners. I don't know. But I do love how Ford is trying to be submissive and homeboy there is the dominant one. I ain't gonna lie to you, I do like the side of Ford. I love how he's playing 2 roles, like 2. Anyways, moving on. Let me tell you something about this part. The way our fourth character, Veer, kissed this man. Let's talk reality here. Normally, I'm a person who's like, okay, I don't feel it. I'm not into this. No, I like this. Here's why. I love how they try to make Ford's character, or overall Ford, show that he can actually kiss someone other than Pete. It makes it more interesting to know, okay, we can see you kind of have chemistry with a lot of people. Even though I do like it with Pete, but I do love that he is branching out from Pete. Don't know what that says with how I'm terming it, but I do like this look. I do like it. But it also feels like the camera is showing that someone is is watching them from a distance. And if so, we're just going to say it's Kelvin. Kelvin is kind of crazy in a red flag in a way, so we're just gonna say it's Kelvin seeing them. But just when the guy thought he can get away sexually with Veer sort of blackmailed him into getting something that he really wants from him. Homeboy just showed evidence that I got you doing dirty deeds, so in order for you to not get this out in public, you need to do something for me. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't even know how he gets business done, but he gets business done, and Veer was serious about this one. Spicy. Now after he walked off, he's so proud and successful of his little mission, in comes someone that literally surprised him out of nowhere. If you guessed Kelvin, you guessed right. First off, I feel like this recap is going to be longer, just because I have so many details to even put into this recap. Anyways, let's get into it. So, Kelvin's a different person than we thought he was in episode 1. Kelvin is not that innocent, geeky glasses guy anymore. Homeboy got spice. He got something. He then looked at Vera and was like, "Did you miss me? It's been a while. We haven't seen each other." So remember, he was kidnapped. The person that kidnapped him was Kelvin. But for somehow, Vera escaped Kelvin's grasp. Now, remember with the handcuff, that wasn't the time. That wasn't the time. He never handcuffed him at the time. He kidnapped him, but he never handcuffed him. So I'm assuming the handcuff was a secure deal, so he wouldn't escape like last time, which is this time. Now, Veer is making sure that he doesn't want to get close to Kelvin. Kelvin is the reddest flag ever. He's a psychopath, like literally a psychopath. I don't even know how he missed all those red flags. I know why. Because Kelvin was too good. He hit it so well. Ooh, I ain't gonna lie. Pete does look good when he's serious. Anyways, the reason why he's showing this vicious face is because Kelvin is overly jealous, especially the fact that he was the one that saw Veer kissing someone, but also he saw a hickey on his neck, and he's not liking the fact that Veer is getting too closely with someone else that is not him. Ooh, if Pete was a vampire in the Vampire Diaries, this is him turning off his humanity. Because tell me why that Veer was threatening him to hit him with a glass wine bottle, and he was like, I'm not afraid of it. The way he just went up and he took Veer's hand and smashed the bottle on his head, showing how much he would risk his entire life just to be close to Veer. Now, that obviously scared Veer, so Veer pretended to care for Kelvin and tell Kelvin that he wants to dress his wound by going into a room. Once he got into the room, he made Kelvin go first. I would too. And then he locked Kelvin into that very room. See, Veer, I told you not to play with fire. You're gonna get burned. You out here teasing Kelvin. You took his virginity. You did this and that, and look at you now. Now, what I'm concerned is, yes, I'm concerned about Veer's safety with Kelvin, but what I want to know is, when we watch episode 1, we noticed Kelvin couldn't even go anywhere because his brother and father was watching him with surveillance cameras, right? How the hell did he escape that family? There's no way it would be this far without his father and brother. No, where is his father and his brother? Did he ever get the chance to take over the business that he said he wanted to do? Oh, sorry, I went ahead too far. That was in this episode. In episode 1, he never said anything about taking over no family business. Sorry, moving on. Then we're back into the dungeon where we see that Veer finally realized that he can't escape Kelvin. Like literally, he is handcuffed and chained by the foot. Then when he looked around, he saw that Kelvin woke up too because he slept right beside him. Kelvin's making sure that he doesn't lose sight of Veer. Veer then asked Kelvin how he found him because Veer was making sure that he went somewhere very far that Kelvin himself would never find him. But I think Veer underestimated Kelvin like a little too bit because even though Kelvin, the only person, hear me out. Kelvin to Veer was this nerdy person, doesn't really go out much, he's innocent, but Kelvin didn't stay around Veer that much to even get to analyze how Kelvin is. Veer just assumed that, he's stalking him, which technically he is. Well, Kelvin has connections. I didn't even know he had that much connection, to be honest. Well, he has the money. We'll get into that later because I don't think he accomplished what he needs to accomplish. I don't even know how he got the money, but he got money. Actually, the greatest thing about this all is that when he explained that he's making his own money other from making it from his family, I think it all makes sense now. He can actually do whatever he wants without anyone tracking him on what to do. So he got that plan secure. He just never had anyone to track down until Veer entered the picture. Now, this is where Veer questioned his life choices because at the time, remember in episode 1, Veer tried so many ways to get close to Kelvin, even had that one night stand. But you'll think that one night stand ended there and he would just be on his merry ways. No. Veer decided to do the unthinkable. He started contacting Kelvin, started texting him, talking to him, and that's where everything went wrong. Okay, let's go back a year ago. See, a year ago when Kelvin and Veer decided to go their separate ways, because remember in episode 1, Veer decided not to sign the contract with his family. So after he got separated, he did give Kelvin his phone number for Kelvin to communicate with him when he misses him. Now, occasionally at that time, they would text each other and meet up with each other. This particular moment, Kelvin decided to text Veer. No, Veer decided to text Kelvin, telling him he wants to see Kelvin and meet up and tell him the location where he wants to meet. Of course, Kelvin is excited because he wants to meet with Veer, be alone with Veer, and keep that in mind because that's important for a little while. Anyway, so Veer is at this place. We're still 1 year ago. Veer is at this condo or apartment, whatever apartment, and his best friend slash assistant came and asked about why he's staying here and what's his plan. Veer said that he wants to, have a little fun with him and his friends, but he also mentioned that he invited Kelvin. Now his best friend and assistant says that he pity for Kelvin because Kelvin is just an innocent person just walking into this whole situation, but also his family members is nothing to deal with. He also warns Veer that not to get too close to Kelvin because we're not sure what he is about, if the family is testing us or whatever. Veer said that he knows what he's doing and that he just wants to kind of break the shell of Kelvin because he believes that Kelvin's innocent self that he's showing is just a cover-up and that he feels like Kelvin has some interior motive. He has something. So he wants to kindly break those quote-unquote innocent self because he thinks that his true self, Kelvin's true self, needs to come out. Actually, he didn't need to see the true self. As we saw in the dungeon being kept captive, we know we want back the innocent Kelvin. But when Kelvin got to the very location and apartment, Kelvin is very disappointed because he never wanted to be with the friends because he's seen the friends and he assumed that when Veer invited him, it would be just the two of them. Veer saw the face that Kelvin is making, and Kelvin said to him that he thought that it would be just the two of them. Veer said maybe next time when he invites him, then it will be just the two of them. Veer thinks that he's indicating something else and tries to navigate his hand throw upwards to his pants, and then Kelvin said no, he's not doing this right now. Veer said, okay, I'm just teasing you. When I saw that, I was like, Veer, you don't even know what your teasing will lead to. And it actually did lead to something that he can't even handle himself. To make up for it, Veer said that he wants to invite Kelvin to a game. It's fencing. And shockingly enough, Kelvin is actually good at fencing. Then they went fishing. But Veer is not the person that likes fishing because to Veer, fishing is boring. You sit there, wait until fish comes to your bait, which might or might not come. But to Kelvin is enjoying it. It's kind of like a therapeutic type of thing. You sit and be patient. That's how it is in life. Then, because of this, Veer decided to get up and make the fishing a little bit exciting by kissing Kelvin. After that kiss, I'm assuming it's a power booster because immediately Kelvin got a fish. I know it's a fake fish, but I hate how the fact that Pete had to kind of shake the thingy to make it look like the fish is kind of swarming. I kind of saw it a mile away, but I mean, it's cool that they have some realistic fish on it. Okay, so while they were at the fishing spot, Kelvin was talking about reminiscing on what he needs to do to take over the family and, take what belongs to him. But then Vera started noticing, no, not noticing, started mentioning maybe he needs to expand a little business, like, post more on Instagram. But Kelvin said he doesn't have Instagram. Vera's like, what era are you in? Kelvin's like, I don't know how to use Instagram, so I don't download Instagram. So Vera took Kelvin's phone, well, he asked for him, and downloaded Instagram for him, to show Kelvin his Instagram, and maybe he could just got the idea, or he just used it to watch Kelvin, Veer. And then Kelvin noticed that Veer posted a picture of himself with him. I don't know how he took that picture, but he secretly took the picture. Just then, Veer texted Kelvin saying that he knows that Kelvin is watching his Instagram. Kelvin, he thought it was a trick, or technically he didn't even know he knew. I didn't know nothing about that. Kelvin then texted Vera saying, why did he secretly take a picture of him? Vera then apologized for doing that, and that he's not going to take down that picture, but next time if he wants to take a picture of him, he will ask permission. Now, because you're using an app to text, Vera noticed that Kelvin has a dog on his display picture and asked about it. Kelvin said it's a secret, but if he wishes to know, then maybe one day when he's more brave enough, he will tell him why he has that dog as his display picture. Dang, foot is thick. I don't even know if he's tall. Is he taller than Pete? I don't remember. Maybe it looks like the camera is different angle or whatever. But anyways, so they're doing their little exercise, and Kelvin is telling Fear that he needs to come up with a plan to actually take what's his and hopefully talk about some big business. Anyways, it was there. I don't think it was here, but it was here that Kelvin tells Veer about the dog picture. He said that when he was younger, before his mother died, he had a dog. The dog died in a car accident, just as how his mother died. Even though she was the only family that actually loved him, but he also mentioned that he had to come out of the house after his mother died. His father put him into orphanage, and his brother was then come up into the house with his mother. Then Vera started asking them why, huh? Kelvin said before he was born, because remember he was the youngest, the son is the oldest, which means the son was the firstborn. The son and the mother was in before Kelvin. Kelvin was maybe the child of a mistress. I don't know. I don't think his mother was married to his father. Anyways, I believe his mother was the one that inherited all the money or whatever, but the father took over it, and because the father didn't want to look like it's a bad thing on the news report, he took back his son from the orphanage. Ever since then, his innocent facades or whatever, he wants to take over what's his. How is he going to do that? He doesn't know. He also said he has a little bit of money that he can use to buy a land and build like a hotel, so he can make enough money so he can crush his own family's fortune. Vera looked at Kelvin and said he will try to see if he can look into his thing, because Kelvin wants to partner up with Vera, because Vera is a businessman and he needs his intake on the things that he's planning. So Vera went home and along with his assistant looked on the blueprint that Kelvin drafted up, and they both looked at it and they said it looks good, the concept is good, but they have a problem. It is too risky. The business that Kelvin wants to do is very much risky. Even though it looks good, the problem is he's not sure that the Board of Finance will actually fund this whole entire thing. Again, it's look good, but 100% risky. Okay, so the next day, Vera went to meet Kelvin. Now, the person that you're seeing right now is Vera, the businessman, not the flirty person. Aside from Vera being a pretentious player and a teaser, he can be a businessman because he can separate business from pleasure. Anyways, Vera tells Kelvin the bad news. Even though his hotel plan business is good, it is very risky, and he knows that he will not get the financial support from the board. Kelvin is very disappointed because he thought it was going to be a great shoe-in. He was going to get it. But that's when he got sad and he walked off. Now, even though he knows that Veer was doing the right thing, considering he knows this is something that Veer is good at, he's a businessman. So I'm glad that he has someone that can tell him the truth, not one will beat around the bush. It is sad though, but he walked off. I ain't gonna lie, I feel it for Kelvin, but the truth is the truth. It comes to attention from a businessman perspective. If he can tell you exactly what to look for, then yeah, he's not gonna look at you and say, hey, it's good, we should try. No, he himself as a businessman sees the risk, and he's telling you as a business person. Now, it's been 3 months since Kelvin and Veer spoke, and what Veer told him about the bad news about his hotel plan. Ever since then, Veer haven't heard from Kelvin. It's been 3 months. But the friends that hangs out with Veer all the time, they even noticed that Kelvin is not around anymore. Even though they noticed that, they looked at they looked at Veer and asked Veer what happened to Kelvin. Veer can't answer that because he himself hasn't heard about him. Then the assistant and everybody else started saying that it's best they don't see him because he was weird and they didn't like his vibe. And I'm like, oh, damn, sir. Okay, ma'ams. Then, out of nowhere, we see Kelvin knocking at Veer's door saying that he wants to go out to talk to him for 1 minute. But somehow that 1 minute talk turned out for Veer to be in Kelvin's car, driving him somewhere. He then said, Veer started asking what happened to him for 3 months. Why haven't I heard from you? Kelvin said that he's been doing things, thinking things. He wasn't upset or anything. He just wanted to do things differently. Because even though he knows that it might be a risk that he couldn't get what he wanted from the whole hotel plan, he decided that he wants to do something different. And he wants to show Veer that difference. Kelvin then took Veer to a place where they're actually building something. This very building is actually this plan of his hotel thingy. He told Veer that even though the first plan didn't turn out right, this is what he wants to do. He was talking about concepts. He's talked about how weird things are going to be. And then Veer then looked at him and said, okay, if you're planning to do such thing, like it's a hotel, more like a hotel. Veer said that if you want to do something, might as well make it pet free because there are going to be a lot of visitors who wants to have pet. Kelvin's like, you have a good idea. I should do that. Now, before we start talking, this building, the whole land, this is just some of the money or maybe all of the money that Kelvin has saved up. That's not the big problem. We'll get to the big problem after I said this. Now, the hotel is actually built next to a beach, and while they're walking, here's the problem. See, even though Kelvin is building this big hotel, he still has not added any more funds to it. Like, he didn't get approved by the board. So, Veer said that he will take the risk with him, even though they know there is going to be a risk of him not getting any support of the board, like the funds. Because when you're doing business, either way, either you have enough money to build it or you need a loan. Kelvin was so happy that he decided to take 2 selfies with Veer. One for him and one for Veer, just to show the connection that they have. Maybe that one day when he gets big, he can show the people that Veer was with him when he had nothing. Now, for those who don't know, when it comes to franchises or having big companies, 100%, and I say that with my whole chest, 100% of the time, they always go through loans. The CEO or the big boss, when they want to build something, they always have to go to a bank to borrow money. 100% times. It don't matter if you're a billionaire or a millionaire or you're rich. Always, these people always go through loan. I don't think even if you're a billionaire, everyone wants a loan to build their business. Because whether or not you take it the right way or not, I 100 believe that when you want to build something, it's always bigger than your pocket. Like if you're a billionaire and you want to build a franchise, you know you're a billionaire, but you want your franchise to be bigger than a billionaire because you want your franchise to make more money than you yourself. But here's the problem with Kelvin. Every bank that he goes to, they decline. They don't give him the loan. Apparently, his project doesn't uphold with their standard. It doesn't work with their budget that he wants. They look at it, they can't give him the budget that he wants, sadly, but it's how it is. Vera did warn Kelvin. It's not like he doesn't know, but he did go out risking it. I feel for Kelvin. He wants to put his idea out there. He wants to grow a business, and his ideas are good, but no one wants to fund it because to them they see the risk. And even Vera knows that. But I love how Vera is comforting Kelvin because, let's be honest, Vera warned him. But I'm glad that he's actually facing this in reality. Then we see Kelvin's brother, Ken. Ken's assistant went to him to tell him what Kelvin is going through. Apparently, Ken is the reason Kelvin is not getting the financial money that he wants. But here's the shocker. The assistant also tells Ken that Kelvin is also partnering up with Veer, which very much shocked Ken because he tried so hard to get through to Veer, and to find out that his little brother is this close to Veer, he wants to know why. After finding out that he didn't get the partnership that he wants, he definitely got scolded by his own father for failing that mission. I never liked the father because tell me why the very son that he treasures so much is the one that he cares so much to do business. Turns out that son can't even do the very business that he wants him to do. Whereas I know deep down the son that he hated, which is Kelvin, can do way much more, but he can't get connected to Kelvin anymore. He already did what he did and now he can't redo it. So he's just stuck with the useless son. I ain't gonna lie to you, he really is useless. He does so many bad than good. Then we see Veer waking up shocked because he finds himself in bed with Kelvin. Don't even know how he got there. Turns out it's a memory. It's like he having a dream, but that dream is just a memory. Right now, Veer wakes up and he realized that he was dreaming. Right now, Veer is in Chiang Mai. We're still in the 1 year timeline. This is Nana. Nana is a friend of Veer that he met while staying in Chiang Mai. Now, the thing about Nana is she's a hardworking person. This is her little restaurant place, and she decided that she wants to expand it. And this is where Veer comes in, and Veer actually knows many places, and he's a businessman in Bangkok. So she wants to ask Veer if he can actually help her out by branching her business out in Bangkok. See, the thing about it is that Veer doesn't want to go back to Bangkok. Now, even though Veer doesn't want to go back to Bangkok, he never said he won't help her. Because you remember back then how they first met and how Nana she was this close to getting beat up by thugs and get in trouble. So that is where Veer actually helped her. Ever since then, they've been friends and they would help each other now and then. But the conversation and the memory down to memory lane has hit a rock bottom because we have a problem. Because one of Nana's customers said that Veer looks like somebody that's on the missing poster. When Veer went, it exactly is him. Apparently, Kelvin posted a missing person and went on news talking about he has someone that he can't find. And on live broadcast, he told the people that if he's looking, I love you and I miss you. I'm like, damn. Now that Veer sees this, he can't stay in Chiang Mai for long because if this poster reached him, that means Kelvin knows where Veer is. Seeing that Kelvin is closing in on him, Veer decided to go back to Bangkok. But seeing the chance is going to slip by, Nana decided she wants to go with Veer too. But when they reached to the port, the airport or the train, I don't know what part is this, whatever. They reached the place though, but then nature calls and Nana had to run to the bathroom. She should have pulled it out because something bad happened after this. While Nana was in the bathroom, Vera went outside with their luggage, waiting to see if they can find a taxi or a Uber or Grab or whatever they use in Thailand. But then Vera noticed something. He looked around and immediately there was Kelvin, and Kelvin put Vera to sleep. Kelvin made holded him to make people think that, it was just like a I miss you hug. See, the thing that Vera doesn't know is that while he was hiding and thought that he was hiding, Kelvin was one step ahead. See, Kelvin knew where he would be because he had people tracking him down. This very moment, he was already called, telling Kelvin that, hey, Vera is here. And that is why Kelvin is there right now. So now, Kelvin took Vera away without Nana knowing anything. When Nana got out of the bathroom, she noticed the luggage was outside, but she didn't see Vera. Got worried and tried calling Vera, but Vera's phone was off. This is where panic mode kicks in, but not the panic mode where she was just rushed to go to the police station, because it's just the same thing. You don't expect someone kidnapped him just like that. You have to wait it out. Plus, even if she go to the police station, the police wouldn't help her, because when you're filing a missing person, you'd have to wait like 24 hours or maybe more. Maybe call it 2 days. Call it 2 days, and then they will say, okay, then we'll file out a missing person support. Because other from that, because some people will take a longer time to come home. They're not going to file that. Just then, at the very same location, we see Lalin. Lalin literally passed Nana. But I think if Vera was there, she would have recognized them. But Vera's not there. Homegirl is just here because she's here on business. Remember, she's married to Ken. Or maybe she's not married to Ken yet. But anyway, she's remembering the time when she was talking to her father and how she hated the fact that her father chose business over the well-being of his own daughter. You're probably wondering what the hell is happening here. Okay, let me explain. So, Lalin is in Bangkok. But while she's in Bangkok, she is a hero of a business person, right? And she needs protection. So she's interviewing all the men that she thinks that can fight and protect her. But you're probably wondering, why would she need that? Wouldn't she have that on deck already? No. If you remember in episode 1, she made a deal with her father to get in to marry Ken. She needs to build her own thing, pick the people that she wants to be around, and keep away the stalkers that her father tend to hire. Also, she actually has 20% of the business. So now she's actually finding someone that could be capable enough to protect her. Then Nana came. See, the thing is, when they were watching the men fight, Lalin's assistant said they don't have any more except for one man. Nana came in disguised as a man in hopes to get in this job. Remember, you're in Bangkok, you need money. But while she was fighting the men, her hat fell off, and Lalin sees that this person is a female. She ended up getting the job because even though she posed as a female, she really did her best and she did good. She beat these men. But also she shows that you don't have to be a man to be in this business. And I think that's why she got the job. Anyway, she started the next day, 7 or was it 9? I don't remember the time that Lalin said, but she starts and she got the job. Homegirl got the job. Keep this in mind, while she got the job as a bodyguard, she's getting herself settled in, but she's still worried about Vera. She hasn't seen Vera since yesterday, which means it's been 24 hours since Vera left. You should call the police by now. But what would she say to them? She then called a friend that's in Chiang Mai asking for advice, but the friend said she shouldn't worry because Vera is a rich person. Maybe someone knows where he is or find where he is. She shouldn't get dwell up into his mess because rich people tend to do things like this. But I mean, Nana kind of get it, but at the same time, Nana and Vera are good friends. She doesn't want to leave him like that. But what Nana doesn't know is that Vera is trapped. See, the thing is, remember, Vera was kidnapped before and escaped, but Kelvin made sure that he will never escape by handcuffing his foot. damn, Kelvin is crucial. I don't know how Vera would end up, escape considering he's shackled down in the basement. And I don't think Kelvin would be stupid enough to actually leave there with his phone. When Vera went to the table because Calvin said he has breakfast, we don't even know if it's day or night. The window probably says evening. When Vera sees the food, he threw it away. When I saw this, I'm like, bitch, you don't know how hard it is these days. You don't waste food. But then again, we're not sure if Calvin even poisons the food. So there's that. You know what's so funny is the fact that Veers talked about it, saying that he wanted to tease Kelvin, dig deep to find out his inner feelings and see his true colors. The only thing is, it's not the color that Veers wanted to see. Bitch, you can't handle the truth because now that the truth is placed in front of you, you want to go back to the lie. I told you, you shouldn't have tested him. Now look where you are, shackled like a slave into a dungeon, trying to get away from the crazy person. He's a psychopath. Look at this face. This is a face of pure psycho. Homeboy said, you're mine. And you'll forever be mine. He's going to make sure that no one gives you that icky again. He's going to make sure that no one kissed you again. Only for you. You shouldn't have taken virginity. Now, see? Well, episode 2 is definitely something. It wasn't something that I was expecting, but it wasn't something that I didn't expect at the same time. Anyways, let me know what you think about episode 2, and I'll definitely see you in episode 3.